doesn't matter where you're coming from. Take precaution, making sure your patch is sorted and there's always one shouting loud up in the sun, claiming to know what is said and done. Time and space, isolate. We salute the superhuman, staring straight into the face of this dance hall clearer, spreading all the fear. Taking time, prioritize and realize what's dear to you. Keep in mind that you need to keep your mind in check. Focus on the positive and what comes next. Satisfy your soul, set another goal, and always try to grow.
Yes! Treehouse Fire, Isolation Jams 1.5.
When I take my walk, all sorts of thoughts to keep bubbling up to the top. When I find my mind is trying to unwind, shaping the shackles and breaking the bind. It's that little bit of light, it's the thing that makes it right. It's that little bit of light, it's the thing that makes it right. We're holed up, living in a bubble, no focus. Time to take back the control, cause it's the one thing that we'll notice when it's gone. We're holed up, living in a bubble, no focus. Time to take back the control, cause it's the one thing that we'll notice when it's gone. It's that little bit of light, it's the thing that makes it right. And it's that little bit of light, yes, it's that little bit of light. It's that little bit of light, it's that little bit of light. It's the thing that makes it right, it's the thing that makes it right. It's that little bit of light, it's that little bit of light. Yes, it's that little bit of light. Yes! Treehouse Fire, Isolation Jams. We do. If you're stuck in that living room, hanging out with your mates on Zoom, if you've got energy up in your knees, we wanna see it, please. Move to the left, slide to the right, bring up the knees and jump to the sky. Even if you jiggle when you move, it's alright. Everybody tryna live their best lives. Run on the spot, bring your heartbeat up. Really doesn't matter if you have to take a stop. Give me every second, let me see just what you got. We got the vibe non-stop. Get low, get loose, bring up the vibe, bring up the mood. Get low, get loose, leave out the noise and bad attitude. Get low, get loose, bring up the vibe, bring up the mood. Get low, get loose, leave out the noise and bad attitude. Move to the left, slide to the right, bring up the knees and jump to the sky. Even if you jiggle when you move, it's alright. Everybody tryna live their best lives. Run on the spot, bring your heartbeat up. Really doesn't matter if you have to take a stop. Give me every second, let me see just what you got. We got the vibe non-stop. Get low, get loose, bring up the vibe, bring up the mood. Get low, get loose, leave out the noise and bad attitude. Get low, get loose, bring up the vibe, bring up the mood. Get low, get loose, leave out the noise and bad attitude. Isolation Jams, week 3. Yes! Like a movement outside, but this old house never been more alive. In new space we
Isolation jams. Week 4. Corona, more like Corona, thank you. We bring the isolation sound to jam to. Popping off the rhymes like COVID starts coughs. Best believe we don't see these beats are peaking non-stop. How many walks have you done today? If it's more than one, you know what I'll say. No, get back inside. Netflix plus the Tiger King will take you on a wild ride. Keep your distance. Keep your distance. Keep your distance. Keep your distance. Socially connected but physically distant. 2 meters away, or consequences could be instant. Or maybe there's a couple of weeks to wait. You cannot hope you have it spreading around to all of your mates. Might as well assume you've got it and just stay still. Occupy your time and mind by trying new skills. Limit the number of the times you find yourself standing in line around the corner from the store. Hope you don't hoard a little more. Be wise, sanitize. No high fives. Keep your distance. Keep your distance. But you can still wave hello. Keep your distance. Keep your distance. Oh! Yes! Treehouse Fire. Isolation Jams. Week 5. Shout out to the doctors and the nurses, the carers and the key workers, working without the protection that you need. Little help from those that lead. Actions speak louder than words, and it's like they're not moving a muscle. And they've spent so long dancing around all the facts that it's harder and harder to trust them. There's a shortage of supplies and fear in the eyes, and the cold hard truth, there's little they can do on the new front line. Run down over time and it's a madness the way that people stand for this. We were told they were low skilled workers, now we know that the glue that holds this place together, we could treat them better instead of a clap. How about we act? We were told they were low-skilled workers, now we know that the glue that holds this place together, we can treat them better instead of a clap. How about we act instead of a clap? How about we act? Yes. Treehouse Fire. Isolation Jams. Week 6. I know it's crazy, but it's true. I can't stop thinking about you. I know I shouldn't, but I do. It's proper weird here without you. And I miss those simple things like giving mates a hug, or when I'm at the shops I don't need the gloves, or when I see my mum don't have to wait, or worry if I am 2 meters away, or maybe pop to the pub when the sun beats down, go to the gig when I get to town. All of these things in my life I took for granted. I just wish that I could wind back the clock, just to get stuck in traffic when I'm on my way into work. Something a little normal I can call upon if my mind does spin. Now we need to try and make the best of a bad situation. I know it's hard, don't mean that it's impossible. People conquer mountains, but on the way we'll trip and fall. It's all lost and found, ups and downs, round and round. Lost and found, ups and downs, round and round. Yes, Treehouse Fire, Isolation Jams, Week 7. Massive love to all the independent music venues out there. Cheers for giving us that space to create. You guys are legend. These are the places we learn to speak. They are the spaces we found our feet. No matter if you're metal or a garage MC, our minds aligned the first time that we heard that beat. We all need that space for creation. compilation. Mastered the craft, passed through generations. Somewhere to belong, sing songs with mates, dance the night away. Ever since I was little, you could find me at a show. The bond so strong, those roots take hold. As I journey through life, yes, they still grow. And to the venues that I owe, these are the places we learn to speak. They are the spaces we found our feet. No matter if you're metal or a garage MC, our minds aligned the first time that we heard that beat. Yes. Treehouse fire. Isolation jams. Week 8. Well, this is all dragging on a little bit. By now I was sure we'd have more of an idea, but as the clock ticks on, things are getting less clear. So now I'm trying to take the time to reflect and work on little issues and large imperfections. Probably won't make a dent, that is true, but there's not a lot else to do. And I've been climbing the walls, pacing the floors, and now I'll take back what's mine, focus my time. And as the days roll into one, I lose myself to the setting sun. So now I'll take back what's mine, try and focus my time. Isolation jams. Week 9. Think there's something in the water. Take care of what you swallow. Think there's something in the water. Be careful who you follow. Walking through life in a haze. It's been rolling on for too many days. Fire. Isolation jams. Week 10. If you hire a clown, expect a circus. Look out for themselves and down on the workers. They're selling the seeds of doubt to the willing. They know that they're making a killing. I remember a time when things were less than fine, but you could still hold the suits to account for the mess they made. Take me back to the day when it was done in a simpler way. Back then they had to try to deceive, but now they barefaced lie and some still believe it. The bungles are blatantly spouting their noise, mixed messages wrapped up in slogans and choice, putting the decision on the population's shoulders. No responsibility, they carried out what they told us. I remember a time
when things were less than fine. But you can still hold the Zeus to account for the mess they made. Take me back to the day when it was done in a simpler way. Back then they had to try to deceive, but now they barefaced lie and some still believe it. If you hire a clown, expect a circus. Hire a clown, expect a circus. Well, if you hire a clown, expect a circus. Hire a clown, expect a circus.
Work from home if you can, but you should go to work if you can't.
Yes. Treehouse Fire. Isolation Jams. Week 11. He's doing his what? Who's doing their what? Who's doing their best? You think he's doing his best? He's doing his best. That's the kind of thing you wanna hear about your kid's football team. Not the kind of thing you ideally wanna hear people talking about your PM. But it is what it is. Do what he said and not what his mates did. Some are more equal than others. Some stuck inside but some drunk and drunk after their mothers. Started out as a big plan, yeah. Then suddenly it got one clear. Still keeping my distance and washing my hands. Coughing my elbow and drink all my family. Moments I've lost and moments I've made. Lockdown limbo, living in the haze. The seconds they turn into minutes and minutes to hours and hours to days. Days to weeks and weeks to months stack up inside my brain. Insane, feel a little better when I let it drain. Starting the engine, I rumble to life again. Put in the front up and right, he's doing his best. That's the kind of thing you wanna hear about your kid's football team. Not the kind of thing you ideally wanna hear people talk about the PM. Wiggled out of questions, made that mess and passed to the rest. One rule for them and then one for us, I guess. That's the kind of thing you wanna hear about your kid's football team. Not the kind of thing you ideally wanna hear people talk about the PM. Wiggled out of questions, made that mess and passed to the rest. One rule for them and then one for us, I guess. Yes. Treehouse Fire. Isolation Jams. Week 12. All of us have got to stand up against hatred and stand up for what's right. Now is not the time to be quiet. I understand that I'll never fully understand, so I'll stand shoulder to shoulder, hoping we can change that status quo. You say there isn't a problem because it hasn't affected you. Just think for a second, if it did, then I reckon you'd be hoping someone stood up. It's not a matter of opinions, no matter how you spin them. It shouldn't be about sides, how can anybody win when some of us are systematically dragged down because of the colour of their skin? What kind of world do you want to live in? I understand that I'll never fully understand, so I'll stand shoulder to shoulder, hoping we can change that status quo. I understand that I'll never fully understand, so I'll stand shoulder to shoulder, hoping we can change that status quo. I understand that I'll never fully understand, so I'll stand shoulder to shoulder, hoping we can change that status quo. Yes. Treehouse Fire. Isolation Jams. Week 13. Lockdown Loco. Living life lockdown Loco. Oh, lockdown Loco. Living life lockdown Loco. Yes. I've lost my mind a couple of 3 times, but I still find the tools to unwind. But breaking out the bottle, revving harder on the throttle, every day is taking its toll. I've got to challenge myself, stretch out my legs. Mental health is wealth, and now I'm running on dregs. I'll attempt to refuel, trying tasks that are new. I've said it a couple of times, there's not a lot else to do. It's easy to slip when there's nothing to break you. Struggle
to find our footings and hope that someone hears the call.
Then the world comes back with the bang and the noise so loud.